You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Gene.
From the AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AFTERBUZZ TV's Hello Ladies After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Hello Ladies After Show.
Just a little boy.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. You're tuning into The Wedding, Episode 7 after show for Hello Ladies. I'm your host, Oriana Leo, and joining me, we've got a few special guests tonight. The very first I'm going to mention is our fellow AfterBuzz host, Derrial. And Derrial, tell us what shows you do here.
I do Walking Dead for AfterBuzz, and I do a show called Black Hollywood Live as well. But I am a super fan of Hello Ladies.
Yeah.
And so you didn't want to miss the opportunity
I
to
did
get
not
to
want
meet
to miss
our
it.
very special
Yes.
guest tonight, Kevin Weisman, who plays Kives.
Oh, yes. Happy to be here.
And of
It's a
course,
pleasure.
Thank you.
the lovely ladies that round out the panel.
My name is Jillian Leff.
And I'm Kylie Hodges.
And how great was tonight's episode?
Finally,
Awesome.
moments that we can enjoy.
It
Yes.
was good.
A
Moments
lot
of
to say.
joy. We were all cheering at the end.
Yes.
having Stuart doing his victory dance.
Yes.
A
I got a
hopeful
little,
ending.
I got a little emotional, actually.
Really?
Well, I mean.
And
you
that was
know,
your first time
empathetic.
seeing it?
That was
The
my first
ending?
time. I read the script and I was at the table reading,
Mhm.
but I hadn't seen. I saw kind of a very early rough cut, but I hadn't seen it all put together. I thought they did a great job.
We were waiting for it for so long.
Yes.
For Stuart to have kind of a emotional
I
and
think
resonant
for
moment.
moment.
both of that, for Jessica and Stuart to kind
Yeah.
of get some redemption. I mean,
Yeah.
we've been watching them go through downward spirals for a while now. And we've been talking about how much we just want, especially with Stuart, to see one redeeming quality.
Yeah.
One moment of victory where he makes the right decision.
Yeah.
And Jessica getting a part on NCIS LA.
L.A. I love that. Yeah.
So we open up the episode, and we've got Jessica in her terrible audition. She's having a complete meltdown, and she's clearly overthinking it. Or, as we find out in this episode, over-rotting it, right? She's just over-wrenching all the time. She's so dramatic. Everything is such a big deal.
But she takes a moment, and then we find out that Amelia is obviously in the waiting room, the bitch in waiting.
Seriously.
Yes.
Just sort of sitting there. I mean, like, Jenny Slate, if there's ever a moment where I hate you, it's this character completely, like,
She's really good at that.
just rotten.
Really good at that.
She's very
amazing.
hateable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she is very
I
hateable.
thought Jessica was going to snap. I thought she might, like, punch her in the face or
Yeah.
something. I was kind of hoping.
It's really difficult for actors to play parts where they will be perceived unlikable. We all want to be liked, I
Yeah.
think, inherently as actors. So my hat, if I could take it off, because I have this thing, I would take my hat off to Jenny Slate, just because I think she does that role very well.
Yes.
She really does.
Well, shout out to her.
I was hoping she wouldn't get the part, too. I was like, if she gets the part, man, it's going to be over.
Is Amelia
Yeah,
gonna
Yeah,
be
if
her?
Amelia
Oh,
gets the
yeah.
part, I was like, oh, God, I hope she doesn't get the part.
Absolutely. And then so we go from this audition, and Glenn, the dirtbag agent's back, right?
He is.
I'm surprised that Jessica brought him to the wedding.
Me
Because
too.
in the last episode, they talked about their relationship, and he did a really smooth job of saying that there is no relationship. I mean, he didn't even want to come over when she was babysitting Wade's daughter. So I'm surprised he was going out in public with her.
Yeah,
A
me
wedding
too.
is
I
kind of
think-
a date.
It is
It's a
kind of
date. It's a
intimate.
date.
I agree. It's
and
very
it's
intimate.
interesting, maybe because she had auditioned for something big, and he thought it might go a certain way. It like
and
it
they were
changed.
getting a hotel, and there was
That's what I was going to say.
Sex, essentially.
a night of
Yeah.
passion, a night of
Yeah.
A night of passion.
free drinks.
So what's so sad though is that Stuart, I feel like, is hitting an all-time low when he's using Wade for a cooler.
Oh,
Yeah.
Like
Wade.
you couldn't go to Rite Aid and buy a $7 cooler.
yeah.
I mean, that's a really small one.
Well,
It wasn't like asking for a huge cooler with wheels. That's the kind you borrow from a friend. But one that's this,
how much are those coolers?
a
Really?
teeny tiny purse-sized cooler.
Yeah.
And then to borrow
Stuart
from
is so
Wade
cheap.
after like
Wade.
last week when his wife told me he's getting a divorce, like I was like,
Yeah.
oh man, leave Wade alone. You know,
Yeah,
he's
he
having
looks
some
like a mess.
tough times.
And he
Yeah.
just rubs, just rubs it in.
Yeah.
Models and ladies.
Actresses.
Listen, the character, the actor that plays Wade,
Nate Torrance.
Nate Torrance.
Nate Torrance,
He's
he plays like such a sad puppy dog, but he also plays so great happy. What
He
was it like
does.
working with him on set?
He's amazing. I mean, the energy on set, the script is obviously very tight, and Lee Eisenberg and Gene Stupnitsky and Steven write all of the scripts, but they like to leave it open for us to interpret it and kind of add our character's interpretation to those moments. And we have developed a real friendship, Nate and I, and I think it
shows.
plays.
It shows.
I think
It really
plays,
does.
so.
Listen,
absolutely
I was
shows.
Insta stalking you, and I saw that you posted a selfie with Nate in
Yeah,
Griffith Park. It
That's
looked-
from the finale. Yeah.
Is it from the finale?
Yeah.
Ooh,
Well,
fans.
spoiler
Uh-oh.
alert. Yeah.
Fans,
Yeah.
you need to check out this photo because Kevin said he thought he saw a coyote. So I don't know
Yeah.
if they got eaten. I don't know what the finale is going to be like.
It was the finale, so
Uh-oh.
they sent the coyotes out on us. No, I'm kidding. Yeah,
Off with you.
it's on my Twitter if people want to see it.
And where can people find you on your Twitter?
At Kevin Weisman.
All right, and that's WEISMAN.
I'm going to see if you
We're
can-
just clarifying because apparently I didn't spell Kives correctly.
Well,
this
Kives
entire
is a
time.
difficult name. Yes.
It is.
Kivs, my character's name.
Just so everyone knows.
And still, one of my favorite scenes was it the first episode or the second episode where you guys were riding in the car down Hollywood Boulevard and you had Cypress Hill playing.
Oh, yeah.
And you guys were all rapping to it.
Yeah.
I like just your faces, and you did this one face that was so classic. I was like, I love this guy.
Oh,
He's so
thanks, man.
good.
Yeah, that was fun. We shot the pilot 9 months before we came back to shoot the rest
Oh,
of
wow.
the season, and that was at like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning down Hollywood Boulevard, and with the lights in the car, and this woman looked at us. She had obviously just gotten out of a club, and she looked at me. She's like, "You're not Tom Cruise." No, I'm not.
Well, it brings up an interesting point because LA is sort of another character on the show.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's a show
It
that I've never really watched before, where the town is essentially a huge part of what it is.
Yeah, I mean the Hollywood sign, Musso and Frank's, the clubs, Malibu. Actually, I think I might have just given out a spoiler. Anyway, don't worry.
Oh!
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Oh no, this is live to tape.
Yeah.
No
There might be some Malibu in there somewhere.
Okay,
that's all
okay.
I'm saying.
I'm ready for the Malibu, yeah.
But
Yeah.
so I want to get us on track to wrap up the episode so that we
Yeah.
can just ask Kevin everything we want to ask.
Sure.
So we'll just say, Stuart starts out being his super douchey self where he switches table numbers, thinks that he's going to get away with that. He doesn't because, as we all know, he's not an 8 or a 9. He keeps trying to reach. He's a reacher, remember?
reacher, all
He
about
reaches
reaching.
up or down a Long Beach. We never know why he doesn't just reach across. He's always reaching
Equidistant.
out
Yeah.
of his.
He's so
League.
tall, he's confused.
He is very. But he sees Kimberly and he thinks that this is all going to happen for him the way that he's planned it. And Kimberly doesn't seem to be the kind of girl that we thought she was going to be, or that he thought she was going to be.
No, when we first met her, we gave her a lot of praises. We were like, she's very nice, she's very sweet, almost too good for Stuart, but she totally manipulated him and used him.
Yeah.
She's really kind of shallow and
She was-
friend zoning
she's-
the crap out of
She
Stuart.
stewarded him.
Oh,
She out stewarded him.
yeah.
She did.
But she blamed it on the alcohol.
Obviously.
Yeah, she'd been drinking, and she apologized.
Yeah,
There was
and then
some-
she only wished she could meet a nice guy.
But then she does the text.
But
at
that's in the next
yeah.
episode.
Well, no, but I mean the text at the end of the episode. She says, "Hey, Mr.
Oh, yeah.
Nice Guy." So perhaps she,
Right.
Oh, that's right.
upon reflection, realizes maybe I'm not.
I think that's fair to say.
Yeah.
But
they were able to talk about documentaries with like aliens in it and stuff.
I wrote in my notes, I was like, Kimberly is far out. Not what he expected. He's like, ooh.
Yeah,
I
but
don't know about
again,
this
he
girl.
tries to sort of, change himself because he's all about changing himself when he's around other people. So he changes his lingo. We're doing a major chillax session after the wedding.
Yeah.
So if you want to come up and, guest DJ in my room.
It was very hip of him to say that, by the way.
I
that
mean-
was pretty cool.
It
I must
reminds me
admit.
of.
He got points for that.
Sorry, it reminds me when he says drub step. He's like,
Drub
right
step.
now,
Jump steps. Yeah.
step, which is not.
Oh, yeah,
what
drum
it-
step. I know that.
Drum
Oh,
step.
right.
Find the drum step. What's drum
That's
step?
hilarious. He sets up the room, directs on the Bible. I mean, he really goes all out for her, and she keeps him waiting, takes advantage, brings some other guy over. Like,
Yeah, Paul, the DJ for Kanye, West.
He was
disgusting.
awful.
Yeah, really unlikable
Some
character as
white
well.
shoes he was wearing. As
I
well.
know.
Very
He
white
looked like a
shoes,
tool. Ugh.
I was trying to describe what his character was, and I wrote douchey hipster. But then I was like, the sneaks, it's whatever hipster is now.
Oh, I wrote Mini Bieber.
I thought
Probably a
drunk
little
One
old.
Direction.
Drunk One Direction.
Yeah, he
I
looked
love
kind of
this. What did you
sloppy
think,
when-
Katie?
You know, I just kind of could read that guy from the beginning. You know, it's just like I knew what type of douchery that he was.
Sure.
So, you know, I was once again I was voting for Stuart. You know, I was hoping that it would like turn around, but it was kind of rude that she brought this guy Paul to his room to sleep with him. You know, like it's like, damn, he just can't catch a break. You know what I mean?
So he can't catch a break, and he goes back to the wedding, area, and finds Jessica having a personal, some personal time, a timeout, to recover from what Glenn, the dirtbag agent, has just said.
And also what the playwright said to her about her web
Yes.
series, which was sort of a huge, like, this was her little baby, as we saw in the first episode where she was filming the web series. And this has been, like, the thing that has been carrying her through, I'm assuming, the last few weeks. I don't know what the time frame of the episode is.
Well,
but
there was also in the episode with the homeless girl that she brings, there was a storyline where she actually is filming the webisode, and you get to see kind of a little more of that, but for time, I think they had to cut that out, unfortunately. So there is the webisode is ongoing, and I think this is where you're like how much farther along this is after. I think it's pretty recent.
Okay.
Yeah, I think she just finished it.
Okay.
Yeah, this is her baby. I mean,
Yeah.
this is what she's been putting her blood, sweat, and tears into.
Well, because she hasn't been able to book anything, and that's been the biggest part of sort of her struggle. She can't find sort of what type she's in. I feel like she wants to audition for younger things, but
she's
she's
also
older.
reaching.
Yes, she's a
right?
reacher.
Yeah.
That's what they have in common. So they end up having this fantastic moment, of just the two of them. She's telling him to stop pretending to be somebody else, right? Just
Yeah.
be yourself.
Yeah, but she also needs to
Yeah,
take her
take
own
her
advice.
Yeah, I was going to say that completely.
Totally.
Yeah.
And here she is getting, deep and kind of saying, maybe I should quit acting and this and that. And that wide shot of them dancing and him, Stuart playing the air guitar, fantastic.
Classic. Yeah.
I was really hoping when Stuart dipped her that they were going to kiss.
I
Me
Because
too.
we've always
Yeah.
talked about in our other
Do you
episodes
want that to happen?
Well,
You want them to get together?
See, I feel like I don't know if I kind of want it, but I feel like it's going to happen. I don't know if it would be a lasting thing. But I feel like it would just be a moment, maybe after a wedding,
I
where
vote
they're
for
a little drunk
drunken
and a
after
little
wedding moment.
and maybe a little makeout.
Well, I feel like they're so similar.
They're
They're
so-
so similar in
they're
so
so
many ways.
compatible.
But yeah, they're so
They're
compatible, and
compatible.
like you said, they both reach for kind of like this thing that's not really in their realm. But when you look at them together, they're so similar.
If
and
they
it's
would
like,
just reach across.
yeah, it's like they're
to
not
e-
seeing each other, but they're not accepting of each other. But it really, in all reality, they're perfect for each other.
But they're not accepting of themselves.
True.
They can't look in the mirror. They can't see what's in front of them. I mean, they're just walking blind, these poor people.
I mean, and they do also want the ultimate happy ending. We see it when Kives and Wade find Stuart's list on his computer
Oh, I know.
In the dinner party episode.
at the dinner party, and I mean, you feel for him there. And then you see Stuart sort of have this moment at the wedding when he's looking at the couple.
I like that moment. Yeah.
It was wonderful because it was the first moment on this show that I really felt something for the character. Like, okay, here's what we've been waiting for. Like, finally we're getting into the meat and potatoes. Like, we're not on the surface.
Yeah.
And it was so nice to sort of see him register that he ultimately wants happiness.
Yeah.
And I know that Jessica wants that too.
Yeah.
Well, they were both smiling, and then there's dirtbag Glenn in the middle, like
Well, he
BBM.
was,
Texting.
he was
Yeah.
concerned about whether or not she was going to get the part.
Yeah.
But
That's
she
true.
was working.
That's true.
Yeah,
Well, that's what we'll call it.
Working.
Sure.
Now I have a question for you, Kevin. Do you want to see Stuart and Jessica together? I know you asked.
Well,
me.
they're both great actors and great people.
Uh-huh.
So yes, I think it would be nice. But in terms of the arc of the show, it's kind of When Harry Met Sally. Do we want them to get together? Will it work? Will it last? I don't know. I think I like them on their individual paths now, and then perhaps down the line when it's right.
That's appropriate.
Yeah, yeah. I think maybe Kives should get together with Jessica.
Yeah, that might not be a bad idea.
Yeah.
So, that episode, that moment when Glenn comes in and says, you got the part, which is, it's exciting for Jessica, but I don't know, did you guys feel mixed emotions about that?
I felt a little let down. No, I felt a little let down for Stuart.
Oh, for
In the
Stuart. Yeah.
yeah,
but not
yeah.
because she
No,
got the
happy
part.
for Jessica
Yeah.
that she
Yeah.
got the part, but it's like nothing was panning out for him that night.
Right.
Everybody else was getting.
Because I think maybe he realizes in that moment that there is something. You're saying
It
that
looks like
they're not
it.
seeing each other, but I think he's always kind of had a crush on her in a very
Yes.
flippant way. But I think
Yeah.
maybe in that moment he sees a very honest, deep connection, which is immediately interrupted by this amazing news that she gets.
Yeah.
Which, of course, he's happy about, this person that he cares about getting this amazing job. But I think we finally see him maybe seeing something deeper.
I agree. He does have that registers a little bit like, maybe I just lost an opportunity or something
Or just the realization that I really do care for this person beyond just the physical.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know.
It was like a self moment for
Awareness.
him, a self-awareness moment.
Yeah,
for
really
him.
well played. I think.
Yeah.
I think so, too.
I think Steven's really doing some great work.
Yeah.
So both of our characters kind of have victories, right? So Jessica wins
Yeah.
and gets her
She's
role.
going to be working with LL Cool J.
With
That's right.
and
I mean, come on. That's a
Kimberly,
victory.
here it is. Kimberly does text Stuart and wants to set up a date, and we get to see his amazing long-legged victory dance in the hallway, which led all of us hosts to be cheering in the screening room.
Yeah. The only thing is, I'm still weary of Kimberly with him. I mean, I was excited for him at that moment, but I was like, is this going to still be a letdown? Like, are we going to find out next episode that it was, she was just being nice and she had a moment, but she's still going to kind of diss Stuart?
Yeah, because we've all had, I have had.
I have. Listen, I'll admit it, Kev. I have to.
We've all been in the friend zone before.
Yeah.
That we
And
think we're like, we got the
We got it! Touchdown!
Yeah.
And it was like, oh.
And then you show up and there's like 2 Pauls there.
Exactly.
You're
Yeah.
like, oh, why are these guys? Oh. Wah, wah.
Wah, wah.
So I think we should that kind of round out the episode, and we can kind of move into our interview of our
Oh.
special guest.
I thought I was just hanging out.
You are hanging out.
You are hanging
And
out,
we have
but
so many questions we want to
all right.
ask,
All right.
and we have fan questions too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have some great fans.
Oh, yeah?
They want to know everything.
I love my fans.
Why don't you begin? My
So
darling?
we always talk about how Kives is an extreme ladies' man on the show.
Yeah.
Sort of probably the only ladies' man on the show right now.
I know.
And he's sort of working with everything he has. So I kind of want to
Which we've
know.
seen.
Yeah, we've seen everything.
Another question later.
Yeah.
It's a double.
All right, guys. So the dick pic wasn't real.
It was real.
It just wasn't
was real.
really
It just
him.
wasn't really
Yeah.
him. I kind of want to
Stunt
know.
actor.
Are you like your character at all? Like, what do you pull from to sort of?
So
Are you a
funny.
ladies' man?
People always ask me that, like whatever I'm working on. When I was working on Alias, they were like, "Are you really technical?" I have a TV. No, I mean, I think the thing that I draw for myself is just really listening to women. I really like women. I like to listen to them, and I think that's important. And I think that's something that he does well.
Oh, you just totally won me over.
Yeah, all of us over here like,
all of us
oh.
have hearts in our eyes
We all
right
took a
now.
big breath, like,
Oh,
Do you wanna
he
listen to
listens.
I felt it on this side here. I'm like, man, he's
You
kind
know.
of.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I'm as lascivious. I'm not as obnoxious.
Right.
I don't speak in the same vernacular that Kives does, but I really do pick up on that thing of like joking, listening. I think is really important that I've learned in my many years.
and he is the most successful thus far on this show.
I mean,
Yeah.
he has gotten like rides up the upstairs with his date for the night.
And that actually.
so impressive.
Yeah, that leads to my question. So how did he get down those stairs the next morning? That's what I really want to know.
That's a good question. Well, that girl in the pilot, she
was
seemed
strong.
pretty
She was strong.
yeah, she seems strong.
She's a great actress. We're just gonna go with that.
And
Or maybe I called Stuart and said,
That's
hey,
true.
I have
That's true.
bagels if you want.
I wanted to ask you how physical that role is because you're taking on, characteristics
wheelchair.
of someone that is disabled. What is that like for you?
Well, I was also going to say I think he uses the chair to kind of disarm and put people at ease.
Yes.
As Paul McCartney would do when he would meet you. He's like, I know I'm a Beatle, but I'm going to make fun of it right away.
Right.
And not that I've ever met Paul McCartney.
I was gonna say
assuming.
that is so cool.
I mean, that
I
happened
was like,
to me
wow,
when
tell me
I
about
met
Paul McCarthy.
When I met Paul, that happened.
I don't know
Yeah,
why.
to me.
Yeah.
I was
Sure.
like, really, tell me about.
Can we Paul
Yeah.
Hunter?
I wish. But no, I mean, I did work with the chair before we started shooting, and they brought it over to my house, and I was, working with it in the backyard because I really want it to seem second nature. If you're playing a bartender, you want to make it seem like you could, to bring back Tom Cruise in Cocktail, he seemed like he knew what he was doing. Like he really, I think, worked with those drinks. I really want to work with this to make it seem like it's second nature. So I did work with the chair quite a bit.
Have you gotten stronger upper body strength?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay.
Do you want to feel the?
I think she wants to test this out right now.
This is the Kives
That'll
coming
be
out.
in the extras portion of the show.
Yeah. So, no, I have worked with it, and it's a custom-made chair. I think it cost quite a bit of money. They measured me, and they wanted to make it fit me proportionally as best as possible. So my hat is off to the prop department of Hello
Well,
Ladies.
everyone's getting their hats off.
Yeah.
Do you have like a favorite role that you like to play in? Because I know obviously we talked about Alias a little bit, and
Yeah.
you play like, you know, the action drama kind of role, and this is more comedic, obviously.
Sure.
What do you have a preference on both? Or
No,
either
I
one?
mean, I think I really just like to create three-dimensional people and surprise people with choices, and
Yeah.
in that these are just real human beings, and they're just going through something. And if it's funny, it's because I'm committing to this moment, not because I'm just kind of trying to make you laugh.
Yeah.
So I just like to play people that are fallible, vulnerable, and make mistakes, but are also driven.
Well, I think that's one of the reasons why we love your character so much, is that Kives is so relatable.
Yeah.
And even if he might kind of be a scumbag, the way he talks to women or the
Yeah.
way he's doing, it's like he's so honest.
I
He's
was
so
concerned.
authentic.
I was concerned that maybe he was too rude, but I think people
But the
maybe
girl-
like
But
it.
girls like
The
jerks.
girls-
Like,
Yeah.
I'm
It's
gonna be
true.
honest.
If you're
It's
gonna
true.
be a
I'd
jerk,
hang out with
just be
Kives.
honest
Oh,
that
man.
he's like, I'm a jerk.
I
And the
should
girls
be
are
more like Kives in my regular life, is what you're
well,
saying.
no, because the immediate reaction is to be offended. So as a girl, we're
Right.
like, oh my god, and then we're like, but he's cute,
But you're-
and
and
charming,
funny.
and funny.
Right.
Well, I
And
think
he
Kives has a
listens.
smooth way about how he does it. It's like last week's episode or 2 weeks ago at the pool party when
Right.
the models were walking by and you're like, hey, ladies, come and join me a little bit later. And they were like, okay,
Yeah.
you know, like
Yeah,
it
he's
was
just
your
chilling-
approach.
Chilling
Yeah.
in the pool.
Yeah.
He's not too invasive of their space, where perhaps Stuart's characters gets a little close.
Yeah.
Extremely
Yeah.
invasive.
And Stuart makes you look really nice and great. I mean, he kind of sets it up for you to take over the ladies, and
Right, like the limo episode, I think is a
Exactly.
perfect
Oh, yeah.
example
Yes.
of that, where we had these great girls from St. Louis, and he, once again, was batting out of his league.
reaching.
And I just, there was a line that was unfortunately cut out where it's like, no, we're already, he wants to go. He's like, we got to get rid of these girls. I say, no, we have these great girls. He's like, no, we've got these other girls. I'm like, these girls are great.
Right.
So I think maybe Kives understands his league.
now what's the backstory between Kives and Stuart? There's a very love-hate relationship
Yeah.
going on there.
Right.
Can you explain
Frenemies. We're frenemies.
why are you friends? Why is anybody friends with Stuart, really? But
Well,
why
I
is
think
Kives and
Wade's
Stuart
character is friends with Stuart.
Sure.
And then I work with Wade.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Wade includes me in on the boys' nights out. And I think maybe Stuart has some anger towards me because I'm so successful and because I kind of give him some guff.
Right.
And so, but at the same time, I think he likes to use me to help him wrangle these women. So it's kind of a love-hate. There's always that guy in the group where you're like, I'll just hang out with that guy
Yeah.
Yep.
and
That's
get the
true.
runoff.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, yeah.
So
But
I'll take
yeah.
the leftovers.
That's
see-
so
What?
funny.
I'm laughing out of acknowledgement. Yes.
I wanted to ask you a question. I did a little research and found that you are a founding member of the Buffalo Nights Theater Company.
Oh, yes.
So I was wondering if you could tell us a little bit about that and then answer our questions about kind of the medium in which you prefer to work, whether it be theater or television or film.
Well, I've definitely got my training in the theater, and I've worked in New York and here in LA. And this company I started out of UCLA with some friends, and we did about 15 to 20 shows in the LA area. And I owe all of my success to the theater, just to training in the theater and working in the theater. And I love plays, and I love telling stories from A to Z. And I love film and television, but it is kind of stop and go. And they're filming, and then you're stopping and eating M&Ms, and then you're filming again. And with the theater, you can really kind of tell a story from 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock, and you can really mark the arc of the character throughout the night, which I really like. But it's certainly, you can tell the actors who have training in theater when you show up on set.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Can you explain like how to our fans?
Well, I just think that they're really present, and nothing phases them. I don't break a lot on camera because I'm always thinking, if you're on stage, you can't stop
Right.
and say, I'm sorry to the 200 people sitting in the audience, we're going to do that again. Unfortunately, you can't. You just have to power through. So I'm really able to just be present, and whatever happens, just take that mistake and use it in the scene. And oftentimes that's where the best stuff comes from, like that stuff that you liked in the pilot. I didn't even know they were going to play that song. So,
Yeah.
it was just we were just kind of going by the seat of our pants, and Steven said, we're going to be playing this song and do whatever you want. And I just was very, it's just an example of being present and letting the moment just
That's
emerge.
classic.
And I didn't even remember what I did. It was just
Yeah.
being present and what would this character do. And I think that's a a result of
I think
training.
that's called being a good actor.
Well, thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
What's your
Now-
favorite? Oh,
Oh,
go ahead.
go
No, go ahead.
So you have 2 young children.
I do.
Have they been bit by the acting bug?
They do like to perform.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right.
They're little hams like me. I mean, I think I became an actor because I was trying to get attention from, adults and my friends. So I see that in them as well. Definitely.
If you had to give some advice to your son on
Yeah.
On dating, I know he's young.
He's
I know
only
he's young.
5. He's only 5.
But
Sorry, start young. Start young.
But if we
Yeah.
could pull, what are the things that you're gonna teach him about treating the ladies?
I think, like we were saying, listening, I think is really important. And, just don't take yourself so seriously.
Yeah.
And just kind of go with the flow and try to read the signs. And if you're in the friend zone, it's hard to get out. Let's just
That it
move
is.
on.
And
Touche.
there we go.
I have a lot of female friends, and that's all they are, and that's fine. That's fine. And maybe grow a little stubble. The ladies like the stubble,
They like
right?
the
Yeah,
stubble.
yeah.
It's very in.
I have noticed that. Yeah. They like the Brad Pitt stubble. That's what they call it, the Brad Pitt stubble.
You got to get it going.
I know. I shaved it. I know. What's your favorite part about playing the character?
About Kives?
Yeah.
I really, it's just fun for me to play such a brash character and kind of bring, there is a lot of my humor in there, and that sarcastic humor that I have with my friends, and it's nice to be able to draw from that. And working with, those guys, they're all great. I mean, Merchant and, he's amazing. He's amazing. He's a auteur.
So we know that in a couple of interviews, Stephen had talked about how when they were writing the pilot, they sort of pulled from their own experiences with
Yeah.
dating and ladies.
Yeah.
Did they approach you and ask you how you've done?
No, they did not, because they didn't. But we did. I mean, I did audition with Stephen, and we improvised, and we really had a nice rapport.
Had you seen his
But-
stand-up before the show?
I had, yeah, and I'm a big fan. I was a big fan of extras in The Office.
Yeah.
And Life's Too Short. And,
Yeah.
I mean, I knew that his comic sensibility was very similar to mine in that, real people, really fallible, making mistakes, and not kind of set up punchline laugh. It's just kind of like moments. Maybe they're funny, maybe they're not. Maybe they're dark, maybe they're depressing.
Cringeworthy. We use cringeworthy a lot.
Yeah.
That's
my
like
kind of humor.
sort of our buzzword
Yeah.
on this show.
Yeah, Lucille Ball is the classic example. I mean, she certainly was a comedian, but she really committed to these moments, and I like that about Stephen as well. He commits. He's our modern day Lucille Ball.
I know. That's what I'm
I said it here
You said it
first.
here first.
Yeah.
Scoop. We're getting the scoop for you,
Yeah.
fans.
A leggy Lucille, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes. I wanted to know, you were saying the script is really tight. Does that mean that you never go off script? Does that mean you have lots of rewrites and you stick with the script? How does that work?
I mean, we definitely have a script. Those guys are great writers, and the stories are tight, but they're open to improvisation on set, and they're open to, especially like in the next episode, there's a great sequence of all of us in the car, and we're all kind of talking over each other and laughing and making fun of each other as people would do, as friends would do in a car. So we really just try to create that real moment as much as possible. So we'll round moments out, but we try to stick to the script because the writing is, it's really solid.
I am finding out so many things. It's exciting to hear the backstory because I
Yeah.
feel like since you guys only have 8 episodes to sort of expose as much as you can about these characters or sort
Yeah.
of teach us,
Yeah.
it's nice to sort of get an insider's perspective because as you said, a lot of the things get cut out that you shoot and you can sort of give our viewers a little bit of an insight as to what they're missing out on.
And it's not because the moments aren't good or they don't
Oh,
work.
yeah,
Or they,
no.
I mean, just being honest with you, it's because it has to be between like 28 and 32 minutes or whatever it is. And there's so much story to tell, and we only have 8 episodes that I think, there's a lot out there. There's maybe some DVD extras scenes.
Now, what would you like to see become of Kives in the future? Do you have any
Yeah.
goals for him?
Well, I'd love to see his backstory and maybe see some of his family, maybe meet his mom. Yeah, I want to see what Kiva's mom is like.
Absolutely.
And, maybe he'll get a girlfriend. I don't know. I'd like to see that relationship. Maybe some of his friends that are also perhaps, wheelchair bound. Maybe he's in some sort of sports league, I think would be cool.
Oh, yeah, that'd be really cool.
Yeah, just continue to explore this character.
Well, let's tell HBO that we want Kives back.
Let's just
We
get
want
this-
Hello Ladies
yeah.
We want
back.
Hello Ladies.
Yeah.
Hello Ladies back first, and then
Kives spinoff. So you were
just called Kives?
Yeah.
Just Kives.
Kives.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you were pretty well known as Marshall on Alias, and you were on there for what, upwards to 6 years?
It was 5 seasons. I think it was 107 episodes.
Craziness. So a lot of fans know you as Marshall. Was it sort of hard to come out of that character because you were in it for so long?
Yeah, I mean, I was fortunate enough to get some other work playing completely different characters in various TV shows and movies. So but yeah, I still get people come up to me because I mean it's on Netflix now and it's very easily accessible. So a lot of younger people, college students now that are just discovering it, are stopping me, and which is great.
That's
I mean,
cool.
yeah, it's that was an amazing show. I was so fortunate to work on that, as I feel I am on this too. So I've been very lucky to work with these great people.
I know. I
just knocked on plastic. I don't know.
It's okay. We're gonna pretend it was wood.
All right.
We're gonna find some wood in here. But I noticed a lot of your characters are sort of the scene stealers,
Oh, well, thank you.
which is really important. We watch the show and we sort of collectively have decided that Kives is our favorite. You guys know at home.
Hashtag Team Kives.
Team Kives. That we sort of root for Kives.
I feel like if
week.
Nate was here, you'd say that Nate was the same character.
Listen.
Wade was your favorite character.
You got to go back and listen to all the episodes, and you'll. I know. Just take our word
Come
for
on.
it.
No, but we're so happy to have you on, and just we're thrilled. It's
Thank you.
awesome.
I'm really happy to be here. You guys are great, and thanks for promoting the show.
Oh, of course. Does anyone have any further questions? I thought we could go into news and gossip / predictions.
Oh.
Let's do it.
Let's do some predictions.
AfterBuzz TV News.
TV news.
Well, I don't know if it's news, but obviously we have our guest, Kevin, in the studio, and he has a little bit of insight into the next episode.
I do.
What can you tell us?
What can you tell us, other than
Oh.
it's in Malibu?
There's a small portion in Malibu. There's just an extension of Steven's kindness, I think, and sweetness that maybe it's evolved over the season that I think you guys have wanted to see and
Sure.
that we saw at the end of this episode, which is great. He's still who he is, but we still get to see vulnerable Steven, which I think is great. And there's still some more stuff with him and Kimberly. I'm just saying. I'm not gonna.
And we'll get to see you in the episode.
Oh yeah, we're all in it quite a bit. We the 4 regulars and Kyle Mooney, all 5 of us are in the episode quite a bit next week. So.
And that's going to be the season finale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So quick. It went. The season
Went
so
by
quick.
so quickly.
8 episodes, not a lot.
Yeah.
No.
And then I guess we'll just go into our predictions.
Yes.
Yeah.
Some predictions.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Derrial.
I'm gonna say that Wade's wife is not going to divorce him.
Wow.
That's what I'm gonna predict.
I don't
Yeah.
see that.
She bought a
really.
sex toy.
I know, but I feel like Wade's gonna flip it, and all of a sudden she's gonna see like this new Wade in something. Like I feel like he's gonna get some training from maybe Kives or somebody,
yeah.
and he's gonna flip it, and she's gonna be like, wait a minute, I'm seeing a different side of him. I might want some of that.
And what if he doesn't want that back?
Oh.
Well, that's a different prediction.
Just throwing it out there.
I predict that Stuart is going to get continually friend zoned by Kimberly.
And what's he going to do with it? Because this is season finale.
I don't know. What is he gonna do?
Hopefully there will be another
stupid.
season. where
Yeah,
we can
fingers
discuss
crossed.
It then.
Season
We can
two.
discuss
Fingers
it
crossed.
then.
Fingers
Yes.
crossed for season 2. Jillian.
Yeah,
what are you
I'm
thinking?
hoping that not everything is going to be neatly tied like a bow. I'm hoping to see some sort of open-endedness because they're fingers crossed will be a second season. But I'm sort of like dreaming of this really meta shot with him and Kimberly in the car, seeing her billboard and he's in the car with her. I feel like that
that's
would
cool.
be an amazing sort of last scene out, no matter what happens to them. You know, maybe he sees the real her or maybe he discovers more about himself. But I'm just like really hoping, because he's driven past the billboard a few
So
times.
many times,
And
yeah.
it was such a huge part. So I'm just hoping that he's in his little convertible and they drive by. And a moment, I'm hoping a moment
I
happens.
love that.
Or he's with Jessica in the car. We're switching it up. You know, I don't know, but I'm hoping for
And she's on a billboard.
the car and the billboard.
By the way, where that billboard is, quote unquote, is on Cherokee and Hollywood. She's not up there, but that's where that
That's
location
Supposedly.
It
It
is.
is.
shows the
Fans,
Cherokee sign a
fans,
lot.
yes.
I have seen that. Yeah.
Yeah, right by Musso and Frankson.
Yep.
Oriana, what are you thinking?
Well, I'm thinking that I'm looking forward to having it rounded out, having some of these edges. I'd like to see Stuart and Jessica have further victories, even if it's just victories in self-awareness. I mean, at this point, I'm rooting for them, but for any kind of success or accomplishment in their own self-awareness and personal development, because I just think they're so overbearing and obnoxious to everyone around them.
Yeah.
But there's light at the end of the tunnel. And so I'm hoping that no matter what, like you said, I hope that it ends on a positive, optimistic, yet awkward note that we'll get to see more of in another season.
Yeah.
That's what I'd like to see.
I can't make any predictions because I know what happens.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you so bad too.
Yeah.
I was like, "What is your prediction?"
Well,
Do you predict
I
there'll be
mean,
another season?
Yeah.
And when do you
Well,
find
I'm sure
out?
that, yeah, when do you find
And
out?
can we light a prayer candle for you?
hopefully soon.
'Cause I'll do that.
Hopefully soon.
Hopefully
I don't
soon.
want to. Yes, I don't.
There's
hopefully
no wood to
soon.
knock on, so.
Yeah. No. I mean, we're really happy with these episodes, so hopefully, the show will continue to have a life.
I'm sure it will.
Yeah.
So,
Got a lot of fans.
Kives, the way we end the show is we ask where the fans can find you
Yeah.
on Twitter, on Instagram. If you could just recap that so people
I'm
can...
on all of those things.
Okay.
I'm on Twitter, Kevin Weisman, Weisman, and same name. Instagram is the same, and Facebook. I think I have some fan pages there too, Kevin Weisman, something like that.
Perfect, nice and easy.
Yeah, it's all my name.
And I think
Very
we should
easy.
start. I think we should start a hashtag of Team Kives,
Yes.
Kives.
Oh, wow.
And Kevin
Right.
Weisman. I think there's a website too, kevinweisman.com, that has all of those links.
Okay, good.
Perfect.
And what about? Do you have a? What about yours?
Oh my God!
guys
You
gotta
tossed it
announce
right
yours.
back.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Phenomenal.
What about
hosting.
you?
Sure, you have
Derrial,
Twitters.
tell-
At Derrial
us.
Christon,
Yeah.
Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. I'm sure my name is popping up at the bottom of the screen, so
Oh,
you can
there you
spell
go.
it there.
You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at the Kylie Hodges or KylieHodges.com.
You can find me at Jillian Leff on Twitter or at JillianLeff.com. And also tune in to the American Horror Story after show that Oriana and I also host together
That
on
show.
Wednesday nights.
Number 5 this week, just saying. And I'm Oriana Leo on Instagram. It's Miss Oriana Leo, and on Twitter it's Miss Oriana Leo. On Instagram it's Oriana Leo. Just so many letters.
I will be following you all within the half hour.
Oh,
All right, you better.
Well, I'm not sure about you.
Yeah. We'll share popcorn, man.
All right.
Well, we had a really great show, and thanks everyone for tuning in. And stay tuned next week for the season finale. We will be having some special guests then as well.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.